So this video is about relating to others. Why do you want to relate to others? Well, because it's probably the best survival hack you could come up with, because we are a tribal species and great things come out of relationships. So if that's not obvious, then think about it. So the way you relate to others, the better you do that is directly related to how much you've undone yourself. So let me explain. What does undoing yourself mean? So you're a program, a software program on one level. You identify as this program so far. And there's a lot of bad programs in there. And a lot of those programs, they're basically just garbage. They're basically like a virus. And this is not to judge them. This is not to say they're bad or I did say they're bad, but I don't mean it in the fact that they're bad. They're just like not desirable. You don't want them there. So first you have to recognize this problem. You have to recognize there's a lot of things inside you that in a sense need to be undone. You need to take out the garbage. You got to have a whole bunch of showers for your mind. So how do you do this? It sounds a little bit abstract, maybe, because it's not so tangible. It's not like you need to go to the gym and you just work out your biceps. This is a little more lofty. It's a little harder to grasp because you can see your biceps in the mirror, or you can look and you can check yourself out. But how do you check out your mind? Now, in actuality, checking out your mind is everywhere around you. So wherever you look, you're basically seeing your mind. Now, of course, you're seeing, here I am in this forest. Of course, I'm seeing trees, and I'm seeing creeks, and I'm seeing leaves, and I'm seeing some bugs, some birds. Yes, those things are there. So don't think that I'm just creating everything right now. On some level, depends on where you want to speak from this from. You could argue that that's also happening, but realistically, what's happening on a practical level is there is this objective reality out there. And you're putting a layer over top of it. You're putting a layer over top of that, and you're describing it to yourself in a way that is very subconscious. You don't know what's happening. So how do you know when it's happening so that way you can do what you can to undo it? Most things go through your perception without a phase. You see it, like I see a tree, it doesn't stick to me. I don't have a reaction to it. So most things that you experience, know this, you're not actually needing to undo anything there. Most things, probably 99% of those things, are actually, you're neutral to them. However, there's 1% of them that you react to, and that 1% comes into your life all the time. So that 1% is actually a really big number when you think about it, in terms of proportionally how much things affect you. But know that you're basically just getting that last 1%. That's very helpful to know, because otherwise it feels like, oh, okay, how am I supposed to do all of this all the time? No, you've done most of this work. Okay, most of your life has not stuck to you. Most of your life has not become stagnant in your cellular memory, which creates this distortion in your perception, which now creates a unjust reality for yourself. If one of these trees fell on me, next time I come in here, that experience is going to stick to me, and I'm going to be probably scared of trees, unless I understand this process. So there's still something to do with your nervous system that you have to work out on a cellular level. However, if that situation happened to me, I would walk back into this forest and I would be at peace with the trees, because I know that statistically, the fact of that happening again is almost insignificant. So I'm not going to walk through the forest now being scared of every tree. But that is literally what we do when it comes to how we perceive others or how we perceive situations. If someone says something to you and they're wearing a green hat, subconsciously that green hat is, you're going to recognize it in other people, and you're going to feel some type of response, reaction to another person with a green hat. You probably think, whatever, maybe you do, that this is not actually happening to you, but it is. So how do you know when you're actually acting through something that you want to undo? How do you know that there's a distortion coming through that is now filtering through your perception and affecting you in a way that's hurting you? and others around you, likely. So you're going to feel a contraction. You're going to feel some physical contraction. You're going to feel some energetic contraction. Your body knows. So you need to always be, to some degree, in your body, no matter what you're doing, whether you're talking to people, whether you're in a situation, whether you're in your car, whether you're at work. Always have some of your attention in your body. Your attention can be divided. It doesn't have to be entirely in a trance-like state on something. You can have some of it always in your body. And when you're in your body and you're relaxing your body, you're going to catch these things and you're going to release them. That's all you're doing on a very physical level. Think about it like you have stagnancies in your body, and you're releasing those stagnancies by letting them know it's safe. It's safe to relax. It's safe to be in that experience with whatever you're doing. This is how you undo it. This is it. It's very, very simple, but you're probably not going to do it for a while until you realize how important this is and how it's in almost everything that you do. Like there's no like, oh, I'm not going to do this most of the time. I'm only going to do this some of the time. If you're serious about this, you're going to want to do this as much as you can possibly remember to. You want a sticky note on your forehead basically reminding you to do this. Catch and release. So when you do this, you regulate your nervous system, which allows the veil of perception, distortion that you have over reality to thin. So even if you have a fraction of a percentage of this distortion, you're still under that veil. You're still, in a sense, identified with your body mind, with your person, with your character that is reacting to life. When you have a moment that feels expanded, that's only because you're not contracting anymore. So know that this can get very subtle, and contractions can feel very subtle to the point where you don't know them. You don't even notice them until you get really good at this. You're becoming a master of yourself in this process. You know, it seems bizarre to me sometimes, at least. I can also respect it. But when people become a master of something, but they're completely not a master of themselves, you see this all the time. So why not give that energy to becoming a master of yourself? Because this is realistically what affects your experience more than anything. I don't care if you're a rock star. I don't care what you are. If you haven't become a master of yourself, you're going to have a whole bunch of unnecessary suffering going on. So become aware of this. It's not complex. Notice it. You're already doing it. Just get better at it. Everybody's doing this. It's just that the vast majority of people have no idea they're doing this. They're just constantly in contraction mode. But the one time they call it like grace, where all of a sudden, oh, I just released and I had this expanded feeling and I was connected to God or whatever. All you did is have a moment where you weren't contracting energetically. And that comes with like all the thought patterns, the emotional stuff. You know, it's your whole body is a system. Your body, mind, emotions, it's all a system. So it's gonna contract in different ways, and you gotta look for those. You gotta watch out for those and get excited when you find them. You know, you start with the easy small stuff, you know, so when the big stuff comes, you know it's the same strategy. You know it's the same way that I do it. It doesn't matter what happened, you relax into the process, and then you take action from there. And you get better and better and better at it. And people start attracting themselves to you because they want to know what the heck is going on with you and why you feel so good and look so good and are doing so well. They sense your energy, and your energy isn't polluted. And again, this is not a judgment, but there is garbage inside you. There is pollution you have collected. And it's your responsibility to be accountable for that. You're not at fault, but it is your job. Nobody can do it for you. And enjoy it, you know? Like life is meant to be enjoyed, so enjoy the process. You don't want to tackle this like some stressed out adventure. You want to just keep doing what you're doing and be aware of this at the same time. It doesn't take anything away. You don't need to make big changes. You just need to become more aware.